John sees another angelos come from the Orion skies announcing the fall of the great city Babylon because of how she seduced the whole world to follow her fornicating ways. Revelation chapter 18 verses 1. And after I, Yachanan, John, saw these things, another Malach, angel, came down from the Shamayim, heaven, having great power, and the planet Earth radiated his glory. Revelation chapter 18 verses 2. And he cried in with a great voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and has become the dwelling place of demons, and the prison of every unclean and hated bird. Revelation chapter 18 verses 3. For all Gentile nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the planet Earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the planet Earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Revelation chapter 18 verses 4. And I, Yachanan, John, heard another voice from Shamayim, heaven, saying, Come out of her, my nation of people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. Revelation chapter 18 verses 5. For her sins have reached in the Shamayim, heaven, and Yahweh, God, of the Elohim, has remembered her iniquities. Revelation chapter 18 verses 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works in the cup which she has filled to her double. Revelation chapter 18 verses 7. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow. Give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see sorrow. Revelation chapter 18 verses 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and sorrows, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Yahweh, God, of the Elohim, who judgeth her. Revelation chapter 18 verses 9. And the kings of the planet Earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall wail her, and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Revelation chapter 18 verses 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas! Alas! That great city Babylon, that mighty city! For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Revelation chapter 18 verses 11. And the merchants of the planet Earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Revelation chapter 18 verses 12. The merchandise of gold, and silver, and precious stones, and of pearls, and fine linen, and purple, and silk, and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble. Revelation chapter 18 verses 13. And cinnamon, and aloes, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and chariots, and slaves, and ruach, souls, of male human beings. Revelation chapter 18 verses 14. And the fruits that they ruach, soul, lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them more at all. Revelation chapter 18 verses 15. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand far off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Revelation chapter 18 verses 16. And saying, Plagued, plagued, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. Revelation chapter 18 verses 17. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every master, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off. Revelation chapter 18 verses 18. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? Revelation chapter 18 verses 19. And they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. Revelation chapter 18 verses 20. Rejoice over her, thou Shamayim, heaven, and holy ones, apostles and newsbearers. For Yahweh, God, of the Elohim, hath avenged you on her. Revelation chapter 18 verses 21. And a mighty Malach, angel, took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying thus, With violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Revelation chapter 18 verses 22. And the voice of harpers, and musicians, and of pipers, and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be, shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. Revelation chapter 18 verses 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of planet earth. For by they sorceries were all Gentile nations deceived. Revelation chapter 18 verses 24. And in her was found the blood of prophets, and of saints, and of all that were slain on the planet earth.